Here we have AP calculus AB problem. That is, we have to evaluate the limit x approaches 4 to negative square root of 4x negative 12 divided by x negative 4. Okay, let me directly substitute the given limit for x, that is 4. So when I do so, I'm getting 2 negative square root of 4 times 4 negative 12 over 4 negative 4. Then I'm getting 2 negative square root of 4 times 4 is 16 negative 12 over 4 negative 4 is 0. So 2 negative square root of 16 negative 12 is just square root of 4 over 0. So 2 negative, the evaluation of square root of 4 is just 2, 2 negative 2 over 0. So 2 negative 2 is 0 over 0. So usually whenever we get a result 0 over 0, that is numerator is 0 and denominator is also 0, then it's called indeterminate form. So when I evaluate a particular limit, if I get indeterminate form as a result, that is 0 or 0 as a result, so it's not a final answer for the given limit. And so we have to improve the answer. How do we have to do that? So whenever we get indeterminate form, most students will think that we have to use L'Hopital's rule. Actually, even without using L'Hopital's rule, you'll be able to evaluate the given limit when we get 0, 0, that is indeterminate form as a result. So how do we have to do that? For that, we have to do some simplification in the function that we have in the limit. So how do we have to simplify this one? So for that, we have to consider the numerator, because the numerator contains square root. So to simplify the function we have here, I have to consider the conjugate of the expression in numerator, and we have to multiply both numerator and denominator by conjugate of the expression that we have in numerator. So what is conjugate? So to get the conjugate of this expression, we just have to change the sign in the middle. We have negative, it has to be changed to positive. Okay, let me do it. So limit x tends to positive 4. So 2 negative square root of 4x negative 12 over x negative 4. Okay, now I multiply both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of this stuff, that is 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12 over 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. Okay, limit x tends to 4. Let me do it. Okay, here when I consider the stuff in numerator, it is in the form of a negative b times a positive b. So here, whatever stuff we have over here, the same stuff we have over here. So that is instead of a we have 2, and for b we have square root of 4x negative 12. Okay, now let's consider an important and the basic algebraic identity, that is a square negative b square equals to a positive b times a negative b. Here we have difference of two squares. Whenever we have difference of two squares, that is in the form of a square negative b square, it can be written in the factor form a positive b times a negative b. And also we can consider the same identity in reverse order. That is, we multiply two binomials in the form a positive b and a negative b, then it equals to a square negative b square. So here we have a positive b times a negative b. So what do we have to write for this one? So we have to write this stuff, a square negative b square. So for a square, for a we have 2. So a square we have to write 2 square negative. For b square we have to square this square root of 4x negative 12. Let me do it. Square root of 4x negative 12 the whole square over. So we have to multiply these two binomials. Let me do it. So x negative 4 times 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. Okay, here this square root and square will cancel out. Limit x tends to 4. Let me do it. So the evaluation of this 2 square is just 4 negative 4x negative 12 over x negative 4 times 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. Okay, let me continue over here. Limit x tends to 4. We can distribute this negative sign to this 4x and negative 12. When I do so, I'm getting negative 4x positive 12 over x negative 4 times 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. Okay, let me continue the problem over here. Limit x tends to 4. So here negative 4x, and we can combine this 4 and positive 12. When I do so, I'm getting positive 16 over x negative 4 times 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. So usually we have to get rid of this x negative 4 that's in denominator, because until we have this factor in denominator, the denominator will become 0 when I plug in the given limit for x. Because when I plug in x equals to 4 over here, it will make the denominator 0. When the denominator becomes 0, so like we will not be getting a finite value for the given limit. So we should be trying to get it. Okay. if it is possible. Limit for that's why we are trying to simplify this expression. Okay, now here when I look at the stuff over here, 4 is the greatest common divisor for negative 4x and positive 16, and since the first term, I mean the 4x is negative, we can factor negative 4 out. Okay, if I factor negative 4 out, what do I get inside the parenthesis? For that, I have to divide the terms of this expression by the one I factored, that is negative 4. When I divide this negative 4x by this negative 4, I'm just getting x. When I divide this positive 16 by this negative 4, I'm getting negative 4 over x negative 4 times 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. This x 94 will cancel out. I'm getting limit x tends to 4, negative 4 over 2 positive square root of 4x negative 12. Okay, now let me plug in the given limit of 4 for x over here. Then I'm getting negative 4 over 2 positive square root of 4 times 4 will become 16 negative 12. So which is equal to negative 4 over 2 positive square root of 16 negative 12 is just 4. Negative 4 over 2 positive. The evaluation of the square root of 4 is just 2. And I'm getting negative 4 over 2 positive 2 is 4. Okay, when I divide this negative 4 by 4, I'm getting negative 1. So the evaluation of the given limit equals to negative 1.